By 2030, the UK could feel like a completely different country. Not in science fiction, but in your daily routine. The way you work, pay, travel, shop, and even see a doctor may be transformed by silent decisions being made right now in banks, parliament, and big tech offices. Cash could fade, petrol cars could vanish from showrooms, and your job might exist mostly online. Some people will rise with these changes, others may struggle or fall behind silently. The real question is simple. Where will you stand in the Britain already being built, day by day, for 2030? Number 1. The digital pound and a cashlight UK economy. By 2030, the UK is expected to introduce the digital pound, a central bank-issued currency designed for faster and more secure transactions. It would exist alongside the pound sterling, but operate completely online, meaning everyday payments, salaries, pensions, and government benefits could be transferred instantly without physical notes. The Bank of England has already completed multiple research phases, and major financial institutions are preparing systems to support a nationwide launch. Many businesses are upgrading payment terminals to accept both physical bank cards and digital currency wallets, signalling a shift towards seamless spending across public and private sectors. Daily life could feel very different once the digital pound becomes common. Cash usage is already declining sharply across the UK, and by 2030, it might become rare in most cities. People may pay for groceries, transport, bills, parking, subscriptions, and even school meals directly from a digital wallet connected to their identity. This shift improves payment speed and reduces fraud risk, but it also raises conversations about financial privacy, spending transparency, and whether physical cash will remain important for older citizens and rural communities. Experts predict that retail shops, street markets, and food vendors will increasingly adopt cash-free setups. A digital currency system would also reshape how families manage money. Smart budgeting tools could automatically track spending, separate savings goals, alert users before overspending, and provide personalized financial analytics. Welfare and student support payments could be delivered instantly rather than waiting days. International transfers may become cheaper and faster, especially for families who live in the UK while supporting relatives abroad. Economists believe the digital pound could strengthen the UK's position in the global financial sector, spark growth in fintech, and attract new investment while moving the country closer to a modern, technology-driven economy. Number 2. AI workforce transformation and the new job landscape. By 2030, the UK workforce is expected to be reshaped by AI, robotics, and automation, influencing nearly every industry from healthcare to transportation. Research from major labour and economic studies predicts that 5 to 8 million roles will change in responsibilities, not disappear entirely. Routine and repetitive tasks will increasingly be handled by software and autonomous systems, allowing employees to focus on decision-making, creativity, and interpersonal skills. Companies are already reallocating budgets to automation technologies, which signals that the demand for AI-literate workers will rise steadily throughout the decade. The shift is not only about replacing old tasks, but creating new professional routes. The roles projected to grow the fastest include data analysts, cybersecurity professionals, digital marketers, renewable energy technicians, AI maintenance specialists, and medical technology experts. Even industries traditionally unrelated to technology are adopting intelligent systems, meaning hospitality, education, agriculture, and retail are expected to require new digital competencies. Remote and hybrid work models continue to spread, so offices of 2030 are expected to be built around collaboration spaces rather than strict desk layouts. Employees who adapt fastest to digital tools are likely to enjoy better job security and higher pay growth. The rising importance of AI will change how people learn and plan their careers. Short professional certifications are already becoming widely preferred over long degrees for specific skill gaps, and by 2030, reskilling and upskilling may become a yearly practice for many workers. Schools and universities across the UK are integrating coding, digital safety, and automation literacy from early levels, preparing the next generation for a technology-driven economy. Many professionals will maintain multiple income streams, missing traditional employment with freelance projects, online services, or remote consultancy. AI will not remove human value. Rather, it will reward those who learn to work alongside intelligent systems and use them to enhance performance rather than compete with them. Number 3. Housing pressure, rising demand, and shifting living styles. By 2030, the UK housing market is experiencing one of the most intense demand periods in its history. The population is projected to approach 70 million, and housing construction is still not keeping pace with national needs. Analysts forecast that buying property will become more competitive, especially in urban areas where supply continues to fall behind. Rising immigration, aging populations, and lifestyle changes contribute to demand, while new construction faces delays due to labour shortages and regulatory processes. These pressures make housing affordability a defining issue for people across all income groups. With home prices rising, thousands of citizens are expected to explore alternative living arrangements. Shared ownership models, long-term rentals, multi-generational households, and modern micro-apartments are predicted to become more common. More people may prefer to live in towns outside major cities, where housing is cheaper while working remotely or commuting occasionally. A growing number of investors are purchasing properties for renting rather than selling, which could increase rental competition but also expand housing options for those unable to buy. Government subsidies and first-time buyer schemes may continue, but experts warn they may not fully offset market pressure. This housing evolution will also influence daily lifestyles, urban planning, and family structures. Young adults might live with parents longer before moving into independent homes, and retirees may downsize to smaller, more energy-efficient properties. Local councils are preparing for mixed-use neighbourhoods that combine housing with workspaces, parks, and shopping to reduce travel and improve living convenience. People will increasingly focus on storage efficiency, smart home systems, and multifunctional furniture to maximize limited space. Housing in 2030 may not look dramatically different from today at first glance, yet the way people acquire, afford, and live in properties will shift significantly as expectations adjust to financial and demographic realities. Number 4. The electric-only transport shift and life after petrol cars. By 2030, the UK aims to end the sale of new petrol and diesel cars as part of its wider climate strategy, pushing the country toward electric-only personal transport. Major automotive brands have already announced their transition timelines, and energy providers are expanding charging infrastructure at high speed. Public spaces such as supermarkets, offices, gyms, and parking centres are increasingly installing rapid charging stations, preparing for a world where charging becomes as normal as refueling once was. Government reports highlight that the number of electric vehicles should rise into the millions by the end of the decade, supported by improved battery range and falling maintenance costs. Daily routines will adjust around this transportation evolution. Drivers may plan trips based on proximity to chargers rather than petrol stations, and many households will rely on home chargers connected to their smart meters. Petrol and diesel car owners could face additional fees in low-emission zones, higher taxes, and limited resale value as demand shifts toward electric models. Families who frequently travel during holidays will likely use route planners that highlight fast charging hubs along highways, and people living in apartments may depend on workplace or community charging points. The convenience of plugging in overnight will replace traditional weekend fuel stops, changing habits that have existed for decades. This change will also shape lifestyle, spending patterns, and local businesses. Mechanics will shift toward battery diagnostics and electrical servicing, and petrol stations may be redesigned into rest hubs, offering cafes, shopping areas, and waiting lounges for drivers charging their vehicles. Insurance companies are expected to update pricing models to match new risk categories, while renewable energy portfolios will influence charging costs. The shift to electric-only transport represents more than a car upgrade. It marks a broader cultural transition in how people move, maintain their vehicles, and interact with public infrastructure across the UK. Number 5. Immigration policies and the future of skilled migration. By 2030, the UK is expected to take a more selective approach to immigration, prioritising individuals with skills that directly support economic growth. Forecasts suggest continued demand for workers in healthcare, construction, education, engineering, and technology, as labour shortages remain a long-term challenge. While the government plans to tighten general immigration routes, it is simultaneously expanding pathways for highly skilled workers through fast-track visas, employer sponsorship, and global talent programs. International students who graduate in critical fields may also receive smoother transitions into long-term employment, supporting industries that struggle to recruit domestically. This shift means that the UK population could become more internationally diverse, but migration trends may look different from previous decades. Workers who move through skill-based visas are expected to settle permanently more frequently, especially as employers offer relocation benefits, long-term contracts, and career progression incentives. Families of essential workers will form a growing part of local communities, particularly in regions where hospitals, infrastructure projects, and schools rely heavily on overseas staff. Home Office changes may introduce income thresholds and skill assessments, creating a system where long-term residency is linked to contribution and workforce participation. The future of skilled migration could affect everyday life for UK residents. Shortages in hospitals, elderly care services, construction projects, and classrooms may ease as more trained professionals arrive from abroad, improving public services and reducing waiting times. Local economies could benefit from increased entrepreneurship as many skilled migrants start businesses that create jobs and stimulate competition. Schools, workplaces, and neighbourhoods may reflect greater cultural diversity, shaping social habits, food choices, and community events. By 2030, the UK is predicted to balance border control with workforce demands, creating a migration landscape that strengthens economic stability while reshaping the social fabric of both major cities and smaller towns. Number 6. Green energy expansion and the race toward a low-carbon UK. By 2030, the UK is projected to stand among the global leaders in renewable energy, especially offshore wind, hydrogen production, nuclear efficiency, and large-scale battery storage. Government roadmaps estimate that up to 70% of national electricity could come from clean sources by the end of the decade. Thousands of new turbines are planned across the North Sea, and groundbreaking hydrogen plants are currently being developed to power heavy industries. Electric heat pumps and smart energy systems are becoming more common in new homes, and renewable-focused companies are attracting major investment, positioning the UK as a competitive hub for next-generation clean technology. This shift will gradually reshape daily living. Households may generate a larger share of power themselves through solar panels and domestic batteries, storing electricity during low-cost hours and using it during peak times. Traditional gas boilers could be replaced with air source or ground source heat pumps, and neighborhoods will likely see combined heating networks that distribute renewable warmth to multiple buildings at once. Consumer bills may feel unstable during the transition period as infrastructure expands. Yet long-term projections suggest greater price stability once renewable output scales fully. People might view energy not just as a utility, but as an asset they can control, optimize, and even resell through smart grid participation. The broader social impact will extend beyond households. New energy projects are expected to create hundreds of thousands of jobs across engineering, maintenance, environmental science, logistics, and research. Regions once dependent on coal and oil may experience economic revival through green industrial zones, while electric public transport and net zero commercial districts become defining features of major cities. Schools and universities are preparing courses for green-skilled professions, and businesses are marketing eco-friendly practices as a standard expectation rather than an optional improvement. By 2030, clean energy will represent a defining pillar of modern British identity, influencing how people work, consume, travel, and build toward a sustainable future. Number 7. Remote healthcare and the rise of smart medical services. By 2030, healthcare in the UK is expected to look very different from the traditional model of visiting clinics for every concern. The NHS is rapidly integrating telehealth, AI diagnostics, wearable monitoring devices, and personalised treatment plans to manage patient care more efficiently. Many consultations that once required in-person appointments will likely be done through secure video calls, allowing doctors to assess symptoms, check vital signs remotely, and share prescriptions instantly. Large hospitals are already trialling AI systems that scan scans and test results with high accuracy, helping specialists detect illnesses earlier and reduce waiting times for results that typically take weeks. This transformation will bring healthcare much closer to people's everyday lives. Patients with chronic conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease may use smart devices that constantly measure vital data and send automatic alerts to medical teams if levels become risky. Home test kits could replace many routine lab visits, and older adults might receive more continuous care through remote monitoring, rather than moving to assisted living facilities. Pharmacies and local health centres may become digital-first spaces, where staff focus less on paperwork and more on direct support, as AI handles administrative tasks. Individuals in rural regions, who often face challenges accessing medical services, are expected to benefit the most from telehealth innovations. The shift toward remote healthcare will shape well-being attitudes across the UK. People may be more proactive in managing their health because digital systems make progress tracking simple and engaging. Mental health support is predicted to grow significantly through online therapy, virtual counselling, and mood tracking applications, reducing stigma and improving comfort for those seeking help. Personalised medicine based on DNA and lifestyle data could become mainstream, helping doctors tailor treatments to each body rather than using broad one-size-fits-all solutions. Healthcare in 2030 is heading toward a model where medical support fits into daily routines naturally, focusing on prevention as much as treatment and empowering individuals to take control of their long-term wellness. Number 8. Work from anywhere economy and the new professional lifestyle. By 2030, the UK is expected to embrace a full work-from-anywhere culture, with 30 to 40% of the workforce operating in hybrid or fully remote roles. Businesses are redesigning job structures around flexibility rather than strict office attendance, and many organizations are converting large office floors into collaboration hubs used mainly for meetings and training. Technology is eliminating distance barriers, allowing companies to hire talent nationally and internationally without requiring relocation. Workers who once commuted daily may travel to offices only a few times each month, and flexible scheduling is projected to become a key employee benefit for attracting top talent. This shift will influence where people choose to live and how they spend money. Hundreds of thousands of professionals are expected to leave expensive metropolitan centers and move to more affordable towns and coastal regions, balancing career growth with quieter lifestyles. Demand for properties with dedicated workspaces, strong internet connections, and nearby co-working centers is already increasing. Local economies in smaller regions may grow rapidly as remote workers support neighborhood cafes, fitness centers, childcare facilities, and delivery services. Fewer daily commutes could reduce traffic congestion and pollution in major cities, while train networks and long-distance buses may experience higher usage during weekends and flexible work trips rather than early morning rush hours. The attitude toward careers may also evolve as people gain more control over how they earn. Many professionals are predicted to develop multiple income streams, balancing full-time jobs with freelancing, coaching, online courses, consulting, or digital businesses. Employers are expected to value measurable outcomes more than physical attendance, creating a results-focused culture that rewards productivity over visibility. Networking will increasingly shift to virtual conferences, online communities, and global team collaborations, exposing workers to opportunities beyond their immediate regions. By 2030, the workplace revolution will focus on autonomy, digital fluency, and work-life balance, shaping a generation that places equal priority on income, well-being, and personal freedom. Number 9. The shopping revolution and the era of smart retail. By 2030, shopping in the UK is predicted to become overwhelmingly digital, personalised, and automation-driven, transforming how people buy everyday goods. Analysts expect the majority of retail spending to shift to online platforms, supported by same-day delivery, automated fulfillment centres, AI recommendations, and subscription-based essentials. High street stores will continue to operate, but with a very different focus. Instead of storing large inventories, they may act as experience centres, where customers try products and order them digitally for rapid home delivery. Retail giants are already investing in autonomous warehouses and robotics to reduce processing times, signalling a future where waiting several days for parcels becomes uncommon. This transformation will influence shopping routines for households across the country. People will receive personalized suggestions based on lifestyle, diet, fashion choices, and past purchases, making online browsing faster and more curated. Cashierless supermarkets and smart checkout systems will grow in popularity, allowing shoppers to walk out without queuing as sensors and apps process payments automatically. Monthly subscription boxes for groceries, cosmetics, pet supplies, and household items will become more mainstream, helping families budget with predictable costs. Discounts and loyalty rewards will increasingly come from digital platforms rather than paper vouchers, encouraging consumers to stay within certain retail ecosystems. The rise of smart retail will also reshape entire communities. High street stores that remain open will offer interactive environments featuring workshops, demonstrations, pop-up cafes, and personalized styling consultations rather than simple shelf browsing. Delivery services will employ larger fleets of electric vans, drones, and smart lockers positioned in neighborhoods for secure package collection. Small businesses will benefit from online marketplaces that give them nationwide visibility without relying on physical shops. Consumers may prioritize sustainability by choosing brands with eco-friendly packaging and ethical sourcing, as digital transparency makes business practices easier to evaluate. By 2030, retail in the UK will become faster, more adaptive to personal needs, and deeply integrated into daily life through technology and automation. Number 10. Lifestyle evolution and the rise of well-being-focused living. By 2030, daily life in the UK is expected to shift toward a well-being-first mindset, driven by changing values, economic uncertainty, and the influence of digital culture. Surveys already show that many people are prioritizing mental health, fitness, clean eating, sustainable living, and meaningful time with family over material purchases. Work pressure and fast-paced living in the past decade have pushed citizens to seek balance, and this cultural change is forecast to strengthen. Wellness trends such as outdoor activities, healthy cafes, meditation spaces, flexible working hours, and nature-based holidays will continue growing, shaping how people relax and recharge. Citizens may increasingly track sleep, stress, and activity through wearable devices, as well-being becomes a normal part of personal development. These lifestyle priorities will influence how people spend, socialize, and plan their future. Families are predicted to invest more in experiences rather than possessions, including travel, skills courses, live events, and adventure trips. Weekend breaks to scenic destinations may become more common as remote work makes scheduling easier. Young adults are likely to focus heavily on financial independence, side hustles, and entrepreneurship, creating a generation that values personal freedom and self-growth. Social media will continue to shape habits, inspiring people to explore new diets, fitness routines, and productivity methods. Communities may witness a rise in local farmers markets, eco-friendly products, and plant-based food options, reflecting an increasing awareness of health and sustainability. This cultural shift will also reshape relationships, routines, and personal goals across society. Many people may prioritize smaller social circles with deeper connections, choosing quality time over busy calendars. Cities could experience increased demand for green spaces, cycling routes, and walking areas, as residents pursue active lifestyles. Education systems might place greater emphasis on emotional intelligence and life skills alongside academics. Digital learning platforms will support lifelong learning as self-improvement becomes a defining value. By 2030, a lifestyle centered around health, emotional balance, personal growth, and environmental responsibility is expected to become a defining part of British identity, influencing decisions at both household and community levels. The Britain of 2030 will not arrive suddenly. It is taking shape through every policy update, technological shift, and cultural change happening today. A decade from now, daily life could feel faster, more digital, and more personalized than anything previous generations experienced. Work may no longer be tied to a single office. Healthcare might happen from the comfort of home. Spending could happen through digital wallets rather than cash, and shopping could become automated and instant. Some of these changes will make life easier and more connected, while others may demand new skills, new financial habits, and a new definition of stability. Every prediction points toward a future where flexibility, learning, and adaptability will matter more than tradition. The people who prepare early will navigate the transition with confidence, while those who ignore the shift may feel left behind. Understanding these upcoming changes means being ready for a decade of opportunity rather than uncertainty. The future of the UK is not about fear or excitement alone. It is about awareness and preparation. If you found this video valuable, hit like and subscribe for more UK breakdowns and future predictions. Comment below which change you think will impact life the most, and tell us which topic you want next.